Have you ever felt shackled by invisible chains, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, all because of an emotional attachment? Now imagine the freedom of being able to release those chains, walking light and focused on what truly matters. In today's video, we will explore how to transform attachment into strength and freedom, guided by the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers. Get ready for a journey that will change the way you see the world and your emotions. Together, we will dive into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, learning the art of detachment with balance and serenity. If you're ready to take the first step toward a more fulfilling and focused life, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Understanding detachment. First, we need to understand that detachment is not just a practice. It's a profound transformation in how you relate to the world and your experiences. To detach from past experiences, you must be genuinely willing to release what no longer serves you. Think of it as holding onto a rope so tightly that your hands start to hurt, but fear of letting go prevents you from releasing it. However, detaching does not mean falling. Sometimes, letting go of that rope means you can finally reach out for something even better. I learned this lesson the hard way, when I held onto a relationship simply because it seemed safe and comfortable. Yet, that attachment was preventing me from seeing the countless opportunities for happiness that were knocking at my door. The fear of losing something is a powerful trap, just like when you get lost in social media, comparing your life to others' filtered and curated highlights. It creates the false illusion that you're falling behind, but that's not real life. When you stop worrying about everyone else's stories and begin to live your own, the fear of missing out loses its grip on you. Not knowing every detail of someone else's life doesn't mean you're missing out on something. In fact, it means you're fully present in your own life, creating moments that are uniquely yours. Attachment to a false image of happiness can make detachment nearly impossible. You see others living what seems like their best lives and fear you will never have what they have. But remember, the grass only looks greener from a distance. It's an illusion of perfection that steals the joy from your own life. Detachment is not about giving up happiness, but about defining it on your own terms. To detach emotionally, follow the Stoic principle. Focus on what's within your control, your thoughts, actions, and growth. This realization is empowering. When you recognize that no one's opinion, no past relationship, and no filtered, shiny life on social media has the power to define your worth or your happiness, you find your emotional armor. This allows you to move forward, free from unnecessary attachments, ready to experience life in all its unpredictable glory. Remember, detaching is not the end of anything. On the contrary, it's a bold step toward the life you truly deserve, open to new, genuine, and fulfilling connections that are waiting just around the corner. The power of detachment. Why is detachment so important? When we become overly attached to people or situations, we allow them to control our emotions. It's as if we're handing over the remote control of our feelings to someone else, letting them change the channels at will. The power we give to others can directly influence our happiness and sadness, and in extreme cases, it can lead us to make decisions we would never make in a more balanced emotional state. Detaching does not mean not caring, but rather giving proper weight to the things that are out of our control. Imagine your emotions as a ship anchored in a harbor. If it's tied to too many anchors, it will be impossible to sail freely across the vast ocean. But as you begin to lift those unnecessary anchors, one by one, your ship can set sail, allowing you to explore new opportunities and horizons. Stoicism teaches us to lift those unnecessary anchors and sail with confidence through the seas of life. Let's get more practical. Start by identifying to whom or what you're overly attached. Then, ask yourself why you're seeking validation. Are you afraid of loneliness or something else? Understanding the root of your attachment is the first step in regaining control. Now, engage in activities that bring purpose and satisfaction to your life. Practice gratitude. Meditate on your priorities, and remember that true growth comes from within. By focusing on your personal development and well-being, you will discover that the need for external approval diminishes. Detachment allows you to value your own achievements and find joy in the little things. Over time, you will become more resilient, able to face challenges with serenity and confidence. The journey of detachment is continuous, but with each anchor lifted, you will draw closer to emotional freedom and true inner peace. Sail through the vast ocean of life with courage, knowing that you have the power to decide your own destiny. Understanding attachment. When we become attached to something, it is usually our ego that is in control. At our core, we are beings of love. Think of a newborn baby, radiating joy, free from the complexities of the ego. As we age, our ego starts to take charge, filling our lives with attachments. These attachments, whether to people or ideals, cloud our judgment and distract us from our true essence, which is love. Attachment is a game of the ego, an antithesis to love and self-sufficiency. If we step back and view our desires and connections through this lens, we begin to see the unnecessary weight they add to our lives. Now, imagine living from a place of love, not ego. Imagine the freedom of not desperately clinging to outcomes, people, or status. Living from love allows us to trust in abundance and genuinely believe that what is meant for us will find its way. This is not about desire or wishful thinking, but a deep belief in your own worth and abilities. It empowers you to let go of things, recognizing that attachments are just anchors, limiting the vast ocean you are meant to explore. To start detaching from these anchors, recognize attachment for what it truly is, a product of your ego seeking security and validation. Then, shift your perspective. Understand that your value is not tied to that attachment. Your essence, your core, is enough as it is. This understanding doesn't happen overnight. It is a deliberate practice, a conscious choice to prioritize your inner peace over external validation. Finally, embrace the concept of abundance. When you let go of the fear of loss, the universe finds a way to reward you with much more than what you left behind. Detachment does not mean you care less, but rather that you understand more. It means staying true to your essence, allowing love to guide you instead of fear. The journey of detachment is transformative. It is about shedding the ego to discover the resilient, loving soul beneath. It is about moving forward with lightness, free from the burdens of attachment, ready to receive new blessings with open arms and a strong heart. The illusion of the ego. The ego often deceives us, making us believe that we are not good enough or that someone else's life is better than ours. This misconception leads us to relentlessly seek external validation, attaching ourselves emotionally to others or situations in an attempt to fill a void that, in reality, can only be filled internally. It is common to idolize individuals, placing them on pedestals as if they were inaccessible or possessed something that we lack. However, when we face pivotal moments in life, we realize that everyone, without exception, is equally vulnerable, equally human. It is essential to confront this illusion head-on and recognize it for what it truly is, a mirage. When we let the ego distort our perception of ourselves and others, we fall into emotional traps. We need to free ourselves from this distorted view to see clearly what truly matters. This does not mean ignoring or devaluing others, but rather understanding that, at the core, no one has a special path to happiness or success. We are all part of the same human journey, and no one is above or below anyone else. Now, let's talk about self-confidence and inner healing. Reminding yourself that you are amazing, unique, and special is an essential practice for nurturing your self-esteem and strengthening your inner self. However, this healthy mindset should not come with a sense of superiority over others. True self-knowledge acknowledges that, while each of us has a unique path, no path is inherently superior to another. Our stories are threads woven into the great tapestry of life, and each thread is equally important to its completeness. When it comes to attachment, especially in relationships, it is easy to fall into a scarcity mindset, fearing the loss of someone we consider irreplaceable. This thought pattern is a direct reflection of our ego, which whispers lies about scarcity and limitation. However, emotional detachment does not mean rejecting feelings or becoming indifferent. On the contrary, it means recognizing the abundance of the universe and our innate ability to love without limitations. Understanding that while a person may be special to us, our completeness does not depend on their presence is liberating. This allows us to love freely and genuinely, without the desperate need to hold on to someone. Ultimately, by resonating with the teachings of Stoicism, we learn to see each individual, including ourselves, through a lens of equality. Everyone we meet throughout life, as well as everyone we may eventually lose, plays an important role in our journey, just as we play a role in theirs. However, no role is absolutely indispensable. By internalizing this truth, we cultivate a deep emotional strength that prepares us to face life's uncertainties with serenity and grace. The Stoics taught us the importance of focusing on what is within our control, our perceptions, actions, and will. By applying these principles to relationships and detachment, we find a path to genuine peace and emotional resilience. We abandon the illusions created by the ego and embrace the liberating truth of our shared humanity. The path to happiness. Where does true value come from? This is a fundamental question, and the answer has the power to free us from unnecessary attachments and guide us toward a state of emotional freedom. Understanding this concept is especially crucial when we face the challenge of detaching from someone. This process is deeply rooted in Stoic principles, and it is not about severing ties with resentment or indifference. On the contrary, it is about recognizing that the deepest companionship you will have throughout your life is the one you have with yourself. True value comes from within. It is found in your character, your wisdom, and how you treat others. It's easy to believe that happiness depends on the presence of another person in our lives, that our worth increases with others' approval or diminishes with their neglect. However, this mindset is a trap that keeps us bound by fear and insecurity. When we detach from these illusions and embrace the power of our own value, we discover that happiness and inner peace do not depend on external circumstances, but on a deep connection with our inner self. Stoicism teaches us to walk with this truth, free from the weight of unnecessary attachments, ready to embrace life with courage and serenity. Sometimes, we let attachment chain us, limiting our vast potential and subjugating our emotions to the whims of others. It's like a bird believing it needs permission to fly, when in reality, the sky has always been open, waiting for it to spread its wings on its own. This scenario symbolizes the power of detachment, recognizing that our true value does not depend on the opinion or presence of others. The emotional sky is always available for us to fly freely, as long as we accept our ability to be self-sufficient. Detachment, then, is not about distancing ourselves from others, but rather about drawing closer to ourselves, focusing on personal growth. It is a journey of transformation, where we become the best version of who we are. By freeing ourselves from the weight of attachment, it is like cultivating a flourishing garden. Just as you wouldn't beg for a single flower to bloom, you need not beg for validation or attention from anyone. The secret is in taking care of the soil, watering the plants, and trusting the natural process of life. When we cultivate our own self-sufficiency, the garden flourishes, regardless of who chooses to walk through it or admire its beauty. This inner cultivation becomes a source of happiness that is resilient, independent, and deeply satisfying. To walk the path of emotional detachment, one must first understand that you are already complete, regardless of any external affirmation. Your journey of self-discovery involves exploring the vastness of your own inner sky, learning to love the freedom that comes from flying alone. This doesn't mean you should close your heart or ignore love and human connections, but rather anchor yourself emotionally to a firm foundation within yourself. Embracing the wisdom of Stoicism. Embracing the wisdom of Stoicism means cultivating a mindset that emphasizes self-control and focus on what is within your reach. In Stoic philosophy, the key to serenity and emotional freedom lies in the ability to distinguish what is within our control and what is beyond our power. By internalizing this principle, you learn to direct your energy toward areas you can directly influence: your thoughts, your actions, and your personal growth. When you focus on what you can control, you are building an inner fortress that is not shaken by external events. This means not allowing yourself to be disturbed by unpredictable circumstances, difficult people, or events outside your control. Instead of being pulled in various directions by the ups and downs of life, you develop the ability to remain firm, centered, and at peace, regardless of the storms around you. This is the true essence of detachment. It's not about indifference or distancing yourself from emotions, but about consciously choosing where to place your focus and energy. Detachment in Stoicism is about learning not to be enslaved by others' opinions, societal expectations, or inevitable losses. Instead, it is about nurturing your inner strength, recognizing that true peace and happiness come from within you. Remember that your self-worth is not a missing piece of a puzzle, waiting for someone or something to complete you. You are already complete as you are. True self-esteem comes from understanding that you, in your essence, are a masterpiece. This doesn't mean there's no room for growth. On the contrary, there are always opportunities to enhance, add new experiences, learnings, and beauty to your life. But this growth is not a necessity to be enough, because you are already whole. Instead of seeking outwardly, seek within. By adopting this perspective, you stop depending on external validation to feel your worth. You are already complete, and the experiences and connections you cultivate throughout life are additions that make your journey richer, but they do not define your essence. It's like an artist continuing to work on their masterpiece, knowing it's already beautiful but open to adding more depth and details. Therefore, by embracing Stoicism and practicing detachment, you are building a solid foundation of self-trust. Your worth does not depend on external circumstances, but on the cultivation of your own mind, actions, and growth. This understanding frees you to live with more authenticity, serenity, and above all, freedom. If you've made it this far, it's proof of your determination, courage, and ability to grow. You have already overcome challenges and are now ready to move forward, building a life based on emotional freedom, self-sufficiency, and self-love. The journey of detachment is a deep process of transformation, and you are walking with an admirable inner strength. Every step you take toward emotional freedom is a clear demonstration of your ability to evolve, overcome, and become the best version of yourself. It's essential to remember that you are the anchor of your own life. No one else has the power to control your emotions or dictate your destiny. By freeing yourself from attachments that no longer serve you, you are creating space for new possibilities, adventures, and above all, an inner peace that few achieve. Practicing detachment. Practicing detachment is a personal and profound journey that involves reorienting your mind and heart toward what really matters, that which is within your control. Detachment is not about indifference or rejecting emotional connections, but about creating a healthy space between you and what cannot be controlled, people, events, or external circumstances. When you practice detachment, you are developing the ability to live with more ease, accepting the natural flow of life and releasing the need to control the uncontrollable. The first key to detachment is realizing that everything in life is temporary. People change, situations evolve, and even we are in constant transformation. When you hold on excessively to something, whether a person, an ideal, or an expectation, you are creating resistance to life's fluid nature. This attachment generates suffering because you begin to believe your happiness depends on maintaining what is, in fact, impermanent. Detachment allows you to experience the present fully, without clinging to the desire to control the future or the fear of losing what you have now. The role of control. Much of attachment arises from the need for control. We want people to behave in a certain way, events to follow a specific path, and life to reward us according to our efforts. However, life rarely follows this exact plan. Stoicism teaches us that we can only control our reactions, thoughts, and actions. Everything else, external circumstances, others' choices and outcomes, is beyond our hands. Practicing detachment is accepting this reality and letting go of the need to control what is outside our reach. Detachment does not mean renouncing responsibility or becoming passive. On the contrary, it is an exercise in freedom, as it allows you to act effectively and calmly in the face of situations, without being enslaved by the results. It's like a sailor adjusting the sails according to the wind, but understanding that they cannot control the weather or the currents. They do the best they can with what they have, but without fighting against the greater forces of nature. Relationships and detachment. Detachment is also essential in relationships. Often, we become attached to people, seeking emotional security from them. We believe that we need their love, approval, or presence to be complete. This type of attachment creates a toxic dependency, where our emotional well-being is in the hands of another person. Detachment, in this context, means loving and caring for others without demanding that they fill our internal voids. By practicing detachment in relationships, you learn to value people for who they are, not for what they can do for you. You free yourself from the expectation that someone else is responsible for your happiness. This does not mean distancing yourself emotionally or being cold, but rather loving freely, without possessiveness. Healthy relationships are built on a foundation of mutual respect, where both individuals recognize themselves as complete in their own right, not as halves of a whole. Accepting impermanence. Accepting that everything in life is transient is one of the most powerful lessons of detachment. Life is made of cycles, beginning, middle, and end. This cycle applies to everything: careers, friendships, phases of life, and even our emotions. When we accept impermanence, we begin to see the beauty in change and the constant movement of life. Resistance to change is often what causes us pain, but by detaching from the idea of permanence, we create space for new experiences and learnings. Exercises for practicing detachment. Meditation on impermanence. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Focus on your breath, feeling each inhale and exhale. As you breathe, reflect on the impermanence of life, how everything is in constant change. Think about the things you are grateful for today, but remember that these things may change or disappear. This is not a reason for sadness, but an opportunity to appreciate the present. Meditate daily for 10 to 15 minutes, remembering that everything, including you, is in constant evolution. Detachment journal. At the end of each day, write in a journal about situations where you noticed excessive attachment. It could be a strong emotional reaction to something beyond your control, a person you felt dependent on, or a frustrated expectation. Reflecting on these situations will help you identify them, and over time, you can consciously act to avoid being trapped by them. Letting go challenges. Choose something you feel overly attached to and make a conscious effort to let go for 1 week. It could be a material object, a strong opinion about something, or even the need to control weekend plans. Observe how you feel as you release control. At the end of the week, write about the experience and whether there was a shift in how you perceive attachment. Appreciation without possessiveness. Take some time to observe the people you love or something you deeply value, without the need to possess them. Look at a friend, partner, or loved one and simply appreciate their presence, without wanting to control them, without creating expectations of behavior or reciprocity. Do the same with objects. Look at something you like, but imagine that it may not be there someday. This will help you develop appreciation without attachment. Daily gratitude. The practice of daily gratitude is a powerful tool for cultivating an abundance mindset, and it starts with a simple yet profound exercise. Every day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. This practice, when done with attention and intention, can transform the way you see the world and yourself, helping to redirect your mind to what is positive, rather than focusing on gaps or things you have yet to achieve. By focusing on the present and the things you are grateful for, you begin to notice how rich and full of good things your life is. Gratitude goes beyond a simple thank you. It is an internal shift in perspective, affecting the way you interact with the world. When you dedicate yourself to recognizing what you already have, instead of seeking what is missing, you free your mind from the stress generated by scarcity and lack. This creates space for detachment, as gratitude teaches you to feel complete, rather than constantly anxious about what you don't have. The abundance mindset. The exercise of writing down 3 things you are grateful for helps to strengthen an abundance mindset. A person with a scarcity mindset looks at the world and feels that something is always missing: more money, more love, more recognition. A person with an abundance mindset sees the world as full of possibilities and resources. By focusing on what you have, your mind begins to cultivate the belief that there is enough for everyone, and that while you have challenges, more is always on the way. This shift in mindset is one of the first steps toward detachment, as you stop fighting to hold on to what is beyond your control and instead begin to deeply appreciate what already exists in your present. Reducing attachment. When we become attached to what we don't have or to what we still need to achieve, we live in a state of anxiety. Daily gratitude helps combat this anxiety by teaching us to focus on the present moment. This practice is a way to break free from the vicious cycle of, if I had this, I would be happier, or if I could get that, my life would have more meaning. By focusing on what is already abundant and meaningful, you begin to realize that happiness does not depend on a distant future or on something outside of your control. By adopting this mindset, you start to detach from uncontrollable desires and create an emotional foundation that does not depend on external approval or future outcomes. Transformation through gratitude. Incorporating gratitude into your daily life goes beyond just a one-time practice. When you make it a habit, you start to transform your own perception of life. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, because at the same time, you remain aware of the blessings you already have. Gratitude creates a new way of seeing the world and living within it, where both good and bad experiences are seen as parts of the same flow, contributing to your personal learning and growth. This mindset helps release attachments and the belief that we will only be happy or complete when we achieve certain goals or possess certain things. Gratitude in daily life. To better understand how this works, here are some practical ways to incorporate daily gratitude. Write in your journal, every day before bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be small things, like a hot coffee in the morning, or something bigger, like the presence of important people in your life. The simple act of writing them down helps solidify this habit in your mind. Start your day with gratitude. Before getting out of bed, take a moment to reflect on what you have that's good in your life. Tell yourself, "I am grateful for," and complete it with at least 3 things. This prepares your mind for a day focused on abundance and appreciation, rather than worry and scarcity. Practice gratitude in difficult moments. When facing a challenge or difficulty, look for something, no matter how small, for which you can be grateful. It might seem difficult, but it is an excellent exercise in resilience. You could be grateful for learning something new, becoming stronger, or overcoming a previous obstacle. Share your gratitude. Tell someone how much you appreciate their presence or help. This strengthens emotional bonds and creates a deep sense of connection, reinforcing the practice of gratitude. By expressing your gratitude, you share positive energy with others, creating a cycle of positivity. Create a gratitude ritual. It could be a morning or evening practice, or even a small moment during the day, where you pause and focus on what is good. This ritual can be simple, like closing your eyes for a minute and focusing on your breath, thanking for being alive. The power of gratitude in detachment. When you start integrating gratitude into your life, you naturally develop a mindset of detachment. Gratitude teaches you to appreciate what is, without the need to control or possess. This is key to emotional detachment, because by practicing it, you begin to understand that your happiness doesn't depend on things or people, but on how you choose to look at life and what is already present in it. This state of acceptance and gratitude is the key to living with lightness and emotional freedom. You stop clinging to results and the future, because you learn to live fully in the present, valuing what you already have and what you are. In summary, the daily practice of gratitude not only strengthens your connection with the present moment, but is also a crucial step on the path to detachment. It creates a foundation of serenity and trust, allowing you to live more authentically, without depending on external factors to feel complete. You deserve to live a full life, full of joy, purpose, and true connections. By applying the lessons of Stoicism and detachment, you are not just transforming your own life, but also inspiring those around you to follow the same path. Never underestimate the power you possess. You are resilient, wise, and full of potential. Keep moving forward on this journey, knowing that every act of detachment is an act of self-love and courage. Thank you for being here and for dedicating yourself to this incredible journey of self-discovery. Your presence is a constant inspiration. You are extraordinary, and the world becomes a better place with your light shining. Move forward with confidence, knowing that true freedom and happiness are always within your reach. If this content was valuable to you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring videos like this one. Share this video with friends and family who could also benefit from these powerful lessons. We want to hear from you. Leave a comment below, sharing your reflections and insights on detachment. And to show that you're truly committed to your personal development, comment with the following phrase: "I am ready to navigate freely." Your participation is essential for us to continue creating transformative content that makes a difference. See you next time. And remember, true transformation starts within you. Let's continue this journey of growth together. You can achieve everything you desire, for within you lies an indomitable strength and an unbreakable spirit. Never stop believing in your own power and worth. See you soon.